Hello students, how are you all? Now this is your English reader book Dreamcatcher. Today we will start our English reader annual syllabus. So we are starting from the chapter 13, the book of nature. Students, have you ever observed the little things in nature like a small pebble, dandelion, or a tiny insect? And do you think they play an important role in nature despite their size? Once again, think it. Now, this is an extract from Letters from a Father to a Daughter by Jawaharlal Nehru. In this picture, you can see Jawaharlal Nehru with his daughter Indira Gandhi. He wrote a series of letters to Indira Gandhi when she was studying in Missouri. Through these letters, he told her the story of civilizations, natural history, and how life began on Earth. Now, students, I will give you a short summary of this chapter, the book of nature, and you listen it carefully. This is an extract from Letters from a Father to a Daughter by Nehru. Since Indira often asked him questions about many things, he answered them in these letters. In the Book of Nature, Nehru talks about how life originated on Earth. Life on Earth is millions and millions of years old. It was not inhabited by men and women. Before men came, there were only animals, and before animals, there was a time when no life existed on Earth. He asked Indira to reflect back in time. Nehru writes that it may be difficult for Indira to believe that this world, which is so full today, was once empty or devoid of animals or people. He goes on telling that scientists and those who have studied Earth and its genesis tells us that there was a time when it was hot for any living being, making it difficult for anyone to live on it. He throws thought-provoking questions about history. He further writes that when there were no people, no history could be written. But how can we find out what happened then? He further adds that although no history books or books written in far off days are available, yet we have certain things that tell us a great deal, as much as a book could. He says we have rocks, mountains, seas, stars, rivers, and deserts. There are the books of for Earth's early history. And the real way to understand this story is to not merely read about it in other people's books, but to go to the great book of nature itself. According to Nehru, every little pebble lying on the road or the mountainside may be a little page in nature's book and may be able to tell her something. To be able to read it, she would have to know the alphabet. He meant that she should learn the alphabet of nature before reading the story in a stone or a rock. He asked her further if she has observed how the pebbles get smooth and shiny. He says that if you break a big rock into small bits, each bit is rough and has uneven corner and edges. But the question is how the pebble becomes so round and smooth and shiny. Indra would be able to tell its a story if only she has eyes and ears to hear its story. He adds that the little piece of rock broke away from a big rock. It had plenty of edges and corners. It may have rested on some mountain side. Then came the rain and washed it down the little valley where it would found a mountain stream which pushed it further till it reached a little river. This little river took it to the big river, and in the way the edges were worn out and the surface became smooth and shiny. He also explains that she must have found it left behind by the river. But if the river carried it on, it would have become smaller and smaller, till at last it became a grain of sand and joined its brothers at the seaside to make a beautiful beach. If a little pebble could tell you so much, and how much more could she learn from all the rocks and mountains and many other things we see around us? Nature is one of the oldest book available for human beings to understand about many things that happened in prehistoric time. He wanted to nurture Indra's young and impressionable mind with an unprejudiced view of history. So, students, in this way, Jawaharlal Nehru wrote a letter to his daughter Indira Gandhi and explained about the nature. So I hope you have understood it all, and you once again read the chapter, and in my next class I will give you the question answers. Thank you, students.